I stood in the underground auction house, my last gold coin burning in my palm like a brand against my skin as they dragged the broken Alpha King onto the stage in chains. My baby daughter Maya whimpered against my chest, her tiny fist clutching my worn jacket. She was hungry. We were always hungry. The coin in my hand represented everything. It was worth $2,000 in human money. It could feed us for a month. It could pay our rent. It could buy Maya the medicine she needed for the cough that kept her up at night. But as I watched them throw the dying Alpha King to his knees on that blood-stained stage, his silver chains burning into his wrists, his proud head bowed in defeat, something inside my chest cracked open. My wolf, silent for 3 years since my pack rejected me, suddenly howled to life. Save him. I had two choices. Use this coin to survive another month in poverty, or bid on a dying prisoner that everyone else had already given up on. The auctioneer's voice cut through the crowd. Going once, going twice. I raised my hand, that single gold coin gleaming under the dim lights. 1 gold coin, I shouted. The entire auction house erupted in laughter. And that choice, that single, desperate choice, damned us both. Let me back up. Let me tell you how I ended up in that godforsaken place. My name is Elena Rivers, and 3 years ago, I was somebody. I was the daughter of the beta of the Crescent Moon Pack. I had a family. I had a future. I had a mate who promised me forever. Then I got pregnant. My mate, Jason, looked at me with disgust when I told him. Get rid of it, he said. I'm not ready to be a father. And honestly, Alina, you're not really Luna material anyway. When I refused, he denied the baby was his, called me a liar in front of the entire pack. My own father, the beta, believed him over me. You've brought shame to this family, my mother said as she packed my bags. You're no daughter of mine. I was exiled, cast out, omegaless, which in the werewolf world meant I was nothing. I gave birth to Maya alone in a human hospital, nearly dying in the process. For 3 years, I worked 3 jobs, waitressing at a diner, cleaning offices at night, and weekend shifts at a laundromat. I lived in a 1-bedroom apartment in the worst part of town. I stretched every dollar until it screamed, and I saved. Every spare penny went into a small wooden box under my bed. After 3 years, I had exactly 1 gold coin, 1 supernatural currency coin that I could trade at any supernatural establishment for human money. It was my emergency fund, my escape plan. The thing that let me sleep at night knowing that if something terrible happened, I had 1 safety net. That night, Maya's cough had gotten worse. I needed to buy baby formula and cough medicine, but it was late, past midnight, and the only store open in our neighborhood was a sketchy 24-hour mart on the bad side of town. I bundled Maya up and started walking, too broke to afford the bus fare. That's when I heard it. Music thumping from beneath a closed warehouse. Expensive cars parked in the shadows. The distinctive smell of werewolves, vampires, and other supernaturals mixing together. My wolf stirred uneasily. This was a place I shouldn't be, but curiosity or maybe fate pulled me toward the entrance. A massive bouncer blocked the door, but when he scented that I was a werewolf, he stepped aside with a cruel smile. Go ahead, Omega, enjoy the show. I should have turned around. I should run. Instead, I walked down those stairs, Maya sleeping against my shoulder, and entered hell. The underground auction house was massive. Hundreds of supernatural beings packed the space. Vampires in expensive suits, witches with dark magic crackling at their fingertips, werewolf rogues covered in scars and tattoos, and creatures I couldn't even name. On the stage, they were selling everything. Illegal potions that could make humans forget, enchanted weapons, stolen magical artifacts. And then they brought out the slaves. My stomach turned as they paraded shifters in chains across the stage. Most were Omegas like me, captured and sold for labor or worse. The crowd bid on them like livestock. This is wrong, I whispered to Maya, covering her sleeping eyes. This is so wrong. I turned to leave, but then the auctioneer's voice boomed across the space. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our final item of the evening, a special acquisition that cost us considerable resources to obtain. The lights dimmed, dramatic music played. I present to you the fallen Alpha King himself, Dominic Ashford. The crowd went silent, then erupted into chaos. They dragged him onto the stage, and my heart stopped. Even in chains, even beaten and bloody, Dominic Ashford radiated power. He was tall, powerfully built, with dark hair and features that would have been handsome if not for the bruises covering his face. Silver chains wrapped around his wrists, ankles, and throat, burning into his skin and releasing smoke. Silver poisoning. He was dying. But it was his eyes that caught me. When he raised his head and scanned the crowd, his eyes flashed between human gray and wolf gold, a sign his wolf was fighting for control, fighting to survive. And then his gaze landed on me. Time stopped. My wolf screamed inside my chest, throwing herself against my ribcage. Mate, mine, save him. No, that was impossible. I didn't have a mate. Jason had been my mate, and he'd rejected me. But the pull I felt toward this broken alpha king was undeniable. It was primal. It was desperate. It was real. The auctioneer continued. As you all know, the alpha king has been declared dead by his pack. His beta and Luna have taken control of his territory, which means this male is now unclaimed property. Laughter rippled through the crowd. He's been treated with enough silver to keep him weak but alive. Perfect for entertainment fights, personal guards, or whatever creative uses you might have. We'll start the bidding at 10 gold coins. 10 gold coins, $20,000. The crowd murmured, but no one bid. Dominic Ashford might have been the Alpha King once, but in his current condition, he was a liability. He could die at any moment. He could go feral. He was used goods. Come now, the auctioneer pressed. The Alpha King? Surely someone wants the prestige of owning him? 5 gold coins, a vampire called out lazily. For entertainment fights. 5 gold coins? Do I hear 6? Silence. Dominic's eyes closed. I saw something in his expression that broke my heart. Resignation. He'd given up. He was ready to die. My hand moved to my pocket, fingers closing around my coin. Don't be stupid, Elena, I told myself. You don't know him. He's a stranger. Let him go. Save yourself. Save Maya. But my wolf was howling, clawing, desperate. And then Dominic opened his eyes one more time. They landed on Maya, sleeping peacefully in my arms, and something shifted in his expression. Pain. Longing. Loss. In that moment, I understood. Whatever he'd been through, whoever had betrayed him, he'd lost everything too. We were the same. 5 gold coins going once, the auctioneer called. The vampire was already standing, pulling out a bag of coins. Going twice. My hand shot up. 1 gold coin. The auction house exploded into laughter. Did that Omega just bid 1 coin? Is she insane? That's an insult. The auctioneer looked annoyed. Miss, the current bid is 5 gold coins. Your bid of 1 is... All I have, I said loudly, my voice shaking but firm. 1 gold coin. It's everything I own, every penny I've saved for 3 years, and I'm offering it for him. The laughter died down. Some supernatural beings looked at me with pity, others with contempt. The vampire who'd bid 5 coins sneered. This is ridiculous. I bid 5, she bid 1. Accept my bid. But the auctioneer stared at me with strange intensity. His eyes, ancient and knowing, seemed to see straight through me. You would truly give your last coin for him? He asked quietly. You don't even know him. I know enough, I said. I know he's dying. I know everyone else here sees him as entertainment or a trophy, and I know that's wrong. The auctioneer's lips curved into a small smile. Very well. 1 gold coin? Sold. The crowd erupted in outrage, but the auctioneer slammed his gavel down. The transaction is complete. The laws of the auction are absolute. This female offered her last coin, a sacrifice bid. That holds more weight than 5 coins offered carelessly. The vampire started to protest, but the auctioneer's eyes flashed with power. Do you challenge the ancient laws? The vampire backed down, snarling. Guards unlocked Dominic's chains from the stage floor and dragged him to the edge. I hurried forward, Maya bouncing against my shoulder as she started to wake. Your payment, the auctioneer demanded. My hand trembled as I pulled out my gold coin. The last piece of security I had in this world. I placed it in his palm. He examined it, then nodded. Congratulations. He's yours now. His life is your responsibility. The guards dropped Dominic's chains at my feet like garbage. He collapsed to his knees, barely conscious, the silver still burning his skin. Wait, I said desperately. Don't I get a key for the chains? The auctioneer smiled coldly. Keys cost extra. You spent your last coin, remember? Then he walked away, leaving me with a dying Alpha King in silver chains and my frightened daughter starting to cry. The supernatural beings in the crowd eyed us like predators circling wounded prey. I could smell their hunger, their anticipation. An Omega, a human child, and a chained Alpha? We wouldn't make it 3 blocks. Can you walk? I whispered to Dominic. His eyes opened, that gold flickering weakly. Leave. Me. Not a chance. I just spent everything I have on you. You're coming with me. I tried to pull him up, but he was massive and weakened by silver. Maya was crying now, scared by the chains and the blood and the angry crowd. Mama, scared. I know, baby. It's okay. We're going home. But I had no idea how we'd get there. Then a voice behind me. Need help, little Omega? I turned to find a female werewolf with kind eyes. She was older, maybe 50, with gray streaking her hair. I saw what you did, she said quietly. That was either the bravest or stupidest thing I've ever witnessed. Come on. I'll help you get him to your place before the vultures descend. Why would you help us? She smiled sadly. Because 30 years ago, someone helped me when I had nothing. Consider it paying it forward. Together, we managed to get Dominic to his feet. He leaned heavily on both of us as we dragged him through the crowd and up the stairs. The woman, who introduced herself as Grace, had a car parked nearby. Where do you live? She asked. I gave her my address, and she drove us through the dark city streets. In the back seat, Dominic drifted in and out of consciousness, his breathing labored. The silver was killing him slowly, poisoning his blood. Maya had calmed down, now staring at the strange man with wide, curious eyes. Scary man, Mama? No, baby. He's gonna be okay. I hoped I wasn't lying. When we reached my apartment building, Grace helped me drag Dominic up 3 flights of stairs. By the time we got him inside my tiny apartment, all 3 of us were exhausted. Grace laid him on my couch, the only furniture I had besides Maya's crib and my mattress on the floor. You need to get those chains off him, Grace said. The silver is spreading through his bloodstream. He has maybe 12 hours. I don't have money for bolt cutters or a key, Grace sighed. Then you need a healer, someone who can draw out the silver. I don't know any healers. I was exiled from my pack. Grace pulled out her phone. I know someone, but Elena, healers don't work for free, especially not for an alpha king. The medicine he needs, silver root extract, costs at least 50 gold coins. 50 gold coins, $100,000. I just spent my last coin. I'll figure something out, I said, though I had no idea how. Grace squeezed my shoulder. You've got heart, girl. I hope it's enough. She handed me her phone number. Call me if you need anything. Anything at all. Then she left, and I was alone with my sleeping daughter and a dying alpha king on my couch. I sat on the floor between Maya's crib and the couch, watching Dominic's chest rise and fall in shallow breaths. The silver chain still wrapped around him, burning his skin. Dark veins were spreading from the wounds, visible signs of silver poisoning working through his system. He was dying, and I had no way to save him. My phone buzzed. A text from my landlord. Rent due in 48 hours or you're out. Perfect. Just perfect. I buried my face in my hands, trying not to cry. What had I done? Why had I thrown away my last coin on a stranger? What kind of mother put her child at risk like this? But even as I thought it, I knew the answer. My wolf had recognized him. That pull, that desperate need to save him. It wasn't rational. It was primal. Mate bond or not, something connected us. Elena? I looked up. Dominic's eyes were open, fever bright and intense. You should leave me, he rasped. Take your daughter and run. They'll come for me. Who? My beta Marcus and my Luna, Celine. He coughed, blood flecking his lips. They betrayed me, poisoned me, told the pack I died in battle, sold me to that auction house. My heart clenched. He'd been betrayed by his most trusted wolves, just like I'd been betrayed by Jason and my family. How long ago? 3 weeks. Been in that hellhole for 3 weeks. Tortured. Silver injections. They wanted information about pack assets. Thought I'd break. Did you? A weak smile crossed his face. I'm an alpha king. We don't break. You're breaking now, I said softly. The silver is killing you. Good. Better than living knowing my own mate wanted me dead. Wait. Celine was your mate? Chosen mate. Not fated. Thought it was enough. His eyes closed. I was wrong. I understood that pain. The agony of believing someone loved you, only to discover it was all a lie. I'm going to save you, I said firmly. You can't. No money, no healer. Just let me die. With dignity. No. His eyes opened again, searching my face. Why do you care? Good question. I barely knew him. But the answer came easily. Because when I looked at you on that stage, I saw myself. Broken, betrayed, ready to give up. And I couldn't let you die alone like that. No one deserves that. Something shifted in his expression. Respect, gratitude, and something deeper. Your daughter, Maya, keep her away from me. My wolf, unstable, could hurt her. You won't hurt her. You don't know that. Yes, I do. We stared at each other, and I felt that pull again. Stronger now. Like an invisible thread connecting our souls. Maya stirred in her crib, coughing. That wet, rattling cough that had been getting worse for weeks. Dominic heard it. She's sick. It's just a cough. She'll be fine. Liar, I can hear her lungs. She needs medicine. Tears burned my eyes. I know. But medicine costs money. Money I don't have anymore. Because I'd spent it on him. Dominic's face contorted with guilt. You spent your last coin on me. Now your daughter suffers. She's not suffering. She's fine. We'll manage. We always do. But even as I said it, Maya's cough got worse. She started crying, unable to catch her breath properly. I rushed to her crib, picking her up and holding her against my chest. It's okay, baby. Breathe. Just breathe. But her fever was spiking. Her little body was burning up. Panic clawed at my throat. Maya needed a doctor. She needed medicine. She needed help. And I had nothing. Elena. Dominic's voice cut through my panic. My pack. If you can, reach them. Tell them I'm alive. They'll pay any price. Your Beta and Luna betrayed you. Who else can I trust? My Gamma. Daniel Frost. He's loyal. Find him. Tell him. The code phrase, the king's blood runs silver under the moon. He'll know. I sent you. Hope flickered. Where is he? 3 hours north. Ashford territory. Edge of the Black Forest. 3 hours. With no car, no money for gas or a bus ticket, and a sick child. Impossible. But what choice did I have? Okay, I said. I'll find him. Take my ring. Dominic lifted his hand, where a heavy silver ring, ironically the metal poisoning him, sat on his finger. It's the Alpha King's seal. Daniel will know. It's real. I gently pulled the ring from his finger. The moment I touched it, power sparked against my skin. This ring held centuries of alpha magic. Thank you, I whispered. Thank you, he echoed, for not letting me die in chains. I bundled Maya up, grabbed the ring, and called Grace. I need help, I said when she answered. I need to get to Ashford territory. It's an emergency. Grace didn't hesitate. I'll be there in 20 minutes. While I waited, I wet a cloth and placed it on Dominic's forehead, trying to cool the fever. His skin was burning up, the silver poisoning reaching critical levels. Don't die while I'm gone, I ordered. He managed a weak smile. Bossy, Omega. Desperate mother. There's a difference. Grace arrived as promised, and I kissed Maya's forehead before handing her to Grace. Wait, you're not bringing her? Grace asked. She needs to stay safe, and this trip, I don't know what I'm walking into. Can you watch her, please? Grace saw the desperation in my eyes and nodded. Of course, but Elena, be careful. If Marcus and Celine find out you're looking for Daniel... I know, but I'm out of options. I took one last look at Dominic, barely clinging to life, and my sick daughter, and made my decision. I was going to save them both, no matter what it cost me. Grace drove me as close to Ashford territory as she dared, a gas station on the border where human and supernatural lands met. This is as far as I go, she said. I can't risk entering Alpha territory uninvited. But Daniel Frost runs a security company on the north side of the forest. Look for a building with a wolf head logo. Thank you, Grace, for everything. She handed me a protein bar and a bottle of water. Stay safe, Elena, and hurry. That Alpha King doesn't have much time. I stepped out of the car and started walking. The forest loomed ahead, dark and foreboding even in the early morning light. My wolf stirred, uncomfortable. This was enemy territory now, but I had no choice. I walked for an hour before I found it, a nondescript concrete building with a small wolf head logo above the door. The windows were tinted, and security cameras tracked my every move. I walked up to the door and knocked. It opened immediately, revealing a massive male werewolf with military-cut hair and cold eyes. Behind him, a dozen other wolves stood at attention, all armed. State your business, Omega, he growled. I pulled out the Alpha King's ring. I need to speak with Daniel Frost. Tell him the king's blood runs silver under the moon. Every wolf in the room went rigid. The male in front of me stared at the ring, his expression shifting from suspicion to shock. Fuck. Where did you get that? From Dominic Ashford. He's alive. He's alive. But he's dying, and I need your help. The male grabbed my arm, not roughly, but urgently. Where is he? First, I need to know you're Daniel Frost. I am. Now where is he? I gave him my address. But he's not the only one dying. My daughter has pneumonia. She needs medicine. And Dominic needs silver root extract to counteract the silver poisoning. I need both. Now. Daniel's eyes narrowed. You're the one who bought him at the auction. News traveled fast in the supernatural world. Yes. With your last coin. Yes. He studied me with unreadable eyes, then nodded sharply. Alpha King's orders override all else. We move now. Within minutes, I was in an SUV with Daniel and 6 heavily armed wolves racing toward my apartment. Daniel was on the phone, barking orders. I need a medic team at this address. Now. Full silver poisoning protocol. And get me Dr. Chen. Tell her to bring everything for pediatric pneumonia. I don't care if she's sleeping. Wake her up. He hung up and looked at me. Your daughter. How bad? High fever, wet cough. She's been sick for a week but got worse tonight. She'll be fine. Dr. Chen is the best. And Dominic? Daniel's jaw clenched. If he survived 3 weeks of silver torture, he'll survive this. He's the strongest alpha I've ever known. But Elena? He fixed me with an intense stare. Why did you save him? What do you want in return? I don't want anything. Not me. I just couldn't let him die. Daniel shook his head in disbelief. You spent your last coin, risked your daughter's health, and walked into enemy territory for an alpha you don't even know. You're either the most selfless or most foolish person I've ever met. Maybe both, I admitted. He almost smiled. The Alpha King is lucky you found him. We pulled up to my apartment building 20 minutes later. Daniel and his team rushed upstairs, moving with military precision. When we burst through my door, chaos erupted. Dominic was convulsing on the couch, his body trying to fight the silver. Grace was there, holding Maya, who was crying and coughing, looking terrified. Help them, I screamed. Daniel took command immediately. Team A, secure the perimeter. Team B with me. Dr. Chen, the child. Rodriguez, help me with the Alpha King. A beautiful Asian woman, Dr. Chen, took Maya from Grace's arms and immediately began examining her. Pneumonia, likely bacterial, starting her on antibiotics now. I watched, helpless as they worked. One team surrounded Dominic, cutting the silver chains with specialized tools that prevented the silver from touching their skin. Another injected him with multiple syringes of clear liquid, the silver root extract. Daniel knelt beside Dominic. My king, can you hear me? Dominic's eyes opened, unfocused. Daniel? Yes, my king. You're safe now. Elena, her daughter. Both safe. Both being cared for. Relief flooded Dominic's face before he passed out again. Dr. Chen finished with Maya, who had stopped crying and was breathing easier. She'll be fine. The antibiotics are already working. Keep her hydrated and let her rest. I sobbed in relief, taking Maya back into my arms. Thank you. Thank you so much. Daniel approached me, his expression serious. The Alpha King will recover, but he'll need time to heal, and we need to discuss your situation. What situation? You saved his life. In werewolf law, that creates a debt. A life debt. The Alpha King owes you. I don't want anything from him. That's not how this works. He will insist on repaying you, and knowing Dominic, he'll be generous. I just want to go back to my normal life. Daniel's expression turned grim. Elena, you can't. Marcus and Celine will find out you saved him. They'll come for you, for your daughter. You're in danger now. My blood ran cold. What? You're a witness. You know the Alpha King is alive. You've seen his condition. You can testify against them. They'll want you silenced. The room spun. I'd thought saving Dominic would solve everything. Instead, I just painted a target on my back. They moved us immediately. Daniel wouldn't take no for an answer. You're coming to our safe house, he said firmly. Both you and your daughter, non-negotiable. Within an hour, we were in a fortified compound deep in the forest. It looked like a luxury cabin on the outside, but I could see the security measures. Cameras, armed guards, reinforced doors. Inside, medics had set up a full hospital room for Dominic. He was stable now, the silver root counteracting the silver poisoning, but he'd need days to fully recover. Maya and I were given a guest room with an actual bed, the first real bed I'd slept in since leaving my pack. Maya fell asleep immediately, exhausted and finally breathing clearly. I sat beside her, stroking her hair, trying to process everything. A knock at the door. Daniel entered, carrying a tray of food. You need to eat, he said. I'm not hungry. Eat anyway. You're no good to your daughter if you collapse. He set the tray down. Real food, hot and fresh. My stomach growled traitorously. Daniel sat in a chair across from me. We need to talk about what happens next. I know. Marcus and Celine will come after us. Yes, but there's more. The life debt. I already said I don't want anything from Dominic. You don't understand. It's not about what you want. In werewolf law, when someone saves an alpha's life at great personal cost, a bond forms. The alpha becomes bound to protect and provide for their savior. It's ancient magic, older than any pack laws. I didn't know that. Most don't, but Dominic knows, and when he wakes up, he'll insist on fulfilling the debt. What does that mean exactly? Daniel leaned forward. It means you're under his protection now, permanently. Marcus and Celine can't touch you. It means he'll provide for you, money, housing, security, whatever you need. It means you're part of his pack now, whether you want to be or not. Part of a pack. I hadn't been part of a pack in 3 years. But his pack betrayed him. Marcus and Celine run it now. Not for long. Dominic will challenge them for leadership once he's healed. He'll take back what's his, and when he does, you'll be there, protected, honored. It was too much, too fast. I just wanted my simple life back, but I knew that was impossible now. There's something else, Daniel said quietly. The medics noticed something when they were treating Dominic. The silver should have killed him days ago, but something kept him alive. Something was sustaining him. What do you mean? They think it's you, your connection to him. The bond that formed when you bought him, when you chose to save him, created a link. You've been keeping him alive without even knowing it. I stared at him. That's impossible. Is it? You felt drawn to him at the auction. Your wolf recognized him, and I'm betting you felt strange since then. Phantom pains, emotions that aren't yours. Am I right? I had felt strange. Earlier, when Dominic's pain had spiked, I'd felt it too. A sharp ache in my chest. What are you saying? I'm saying the bond between you two is deeper than a simple life debt. The medics think you might be true mates. My heart stopped. No, that's not possible. I already had a mate. Jason was. A chosen mate. Not a fated one. True mates are different. They're destined, soul bonded, and they're incredibly rare. I shook my head. You're wrong. Maybe. But there's a way to know for sure. When Dominic wakes up, ask him what he felt when he first saw you. If he says his wolf claimed you immediately, that's the sign. Daniel stood to leave, then paused. For what it's worth, Elena, I think you'd make a good Luna. You've got the heart for it. I'm not Luna material. I'm just an Omega trying to survive. You're an Omega who saved an Alpha King with your last coin. You're an Omega who walked into enemy territory alone to protect him. You're an Omega who sacrificed everything for a stranger. He smiled. That sounds exactly like Luna material to me. After he left, I sat in silence, watching Maya sleep. Could it be true? Could Dominic really be my true mate? I barely knew him. We'd exchanged maybe 24 words. But the pull I felt toward him was undeniable. My thoughts were interrupted by a soft knock. A young female wolf entered, looking nervous. The Alpha King is awake, she said. He's asking for you. My heart raced. Is he okay? Weak but stable. Dr. Rodriguez says he'll make a full recovery. But ma'am, he's very insistent. He says he won't rest until he sees you. I checked on Maya, still sleeping peacefully, and followed the female to Dominic's room. He was sitting up in bed, looking far better than the dying man I'd left hours ago. The dark veins were gone. His color had returned. But his eyes, those intense gray eyes with flecks of gold, were locked on me the moment I entered. Elena, you're awake, I said. Thanks to you. He gestured to a chair beside his bed. Sit, please. I sat, acutely aware of how close we were. I could smell him now, pine and rain and something uniquely him. My wolf stirred with recognition. Daniel told me everything, Dominic said. You spent your last coin on me. You risked your daughter's health. You walked into my territory to find help. You saved my life. Anyone would have done the same. No, they wouldn't have. Most people would have walked away. Let me die. Saved themselves. His hand reached out, hovering near mine. Why, Elena? Why did you do it? I met his eyes. Because when I looked at you, I saw myself. Broken. Betrayed. Alone. And I couldn't let you die like that. You felt it too, he whispered. The pull. The connection. Yes. My wolf claimed you the moment I saw you. Even dying, even in chains, he rose up and recognized you. I thought I was hallucinating, but then you raised your hand with that coin and I knew. Tears burned my eyes. Daniel said we might be true mates. We are. I can feel it. The bond is there, waiting to be completed. He finally took my hand, and energy sparked beneath my skin. But I won't force this on you. I won't claim you unless you want to be claimed. You've been through enough. Dominic, let me finish. You saved my life, Elena. In doing so, you've bound us together by ancient law. I owe you a life debt, which means I'm going to give you everything. Protection, security, a place in my pack, a home for you and Maya. Everything you've struggled for, everything you've been denied, I'm going to give it to you. It was everything I'd ever wanted. Safety, security, a pack. But there was one problem. Your pack betrayed you, I said quietly. Marcus and Celine tried to kill you. How can you take that back? His eyes hardened. I'm going to challenge Marcus for the alpha position. If I have to fight, I will. Celine will be exiled. I won't have a traitor as Luna. And then I'm going to rebuild, find wolves I can trust, create a pack worthy of the Ashford name. That could take years. Then it takes years. But you'll be safe while I do it. I promise you that. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to trust that this could work. But I'd been burned before. Jason made me promises too, I said quietly. He said he loved me, said we'd be together forever. Then he threw me away like nothing when I got pregnant. Dominic's grip on my hand tightened. I am nothing like him, and I'll spend every day proving that to you if you'll let me. I don't need grand gestures. I just need certainty. I need to know that you won't abandon Maya and me when things get hard. Then let me give you that certainty, the blood debt ritual. I froze. What? It's an ancient ritual, more binding than any mate bond or pack bond. If we perform it, our lives become linked. If I betray you, I die. If you're hurt, I feel it. We become one in the truest sense, forever. That's insane. That's commitment. That's proof. You want certainty? I'll bind my life to yours. I'll make it impossible for me to abandon you because doing so would kill me. I stared at him, shocked. You barely know me. Why would you do that? Because you saved me when no one else would. Because my wolf has claimed you. Because I've been searching for you my entire life and didn't even know it. His thumb stroked my palm. Because you're mine, Elena, and I take care of what's mine. My breath caught. Everything in me screamed that this was too fast, too much. But my wolf was howling yes, and deep down I knew. I'd felt it from the moment I saw him. This was right. This was fate. How does the ritual work? I asked. Relief flooded his face. It requires blood from both of us, mixed together while we speak the binding vows. Once done, it can never be undone, will be linked until death. And if one of us dies, the other feels it. They can survive it, but barely. It's painful. I thought about Maya. If something happens to me, nothing will happen to you. I won't allow it. But if it does, you need to promise me you'll take care of Maya, raise her as your own, give her the life I couldn't. His eyes softened. I promise. She'll be my daughter in every way that matters. That was all I needed to hear. Okay, I said. Let's do it. Dominic called for Daniel, who brought a ceremonial knife and a silver bowl. His expression was serious. Are you sure about this, my king? Daniel asked. The blood debt is permanent. I'm sure. Daniel looked at me. Elena, do you consent to this bond freely, without coercion? I do. Then let's begin. Dominic took the knife and made a cut across his palm, letting his blood drip into the bowl. Then he handed the knife to me. I hesitated only a moment before doing the same. Our blood mixed together in the bowl. Now we speak the vows together, Dominic instructed. Repeat after me, by blood and bone, by moon and stone. By blood and bone, by moon and stone, I repeated. I bind my life to yours, from this day until my last breath. I bind my life to yours, from this day until my last breath. Your pain is my pain, your joy is my joy, your life is my life. Your pain is my pain, your joy is my joy, your life is my life. I vow to protect, to cherish, to stand beside you in darkness and light. I vow to protect, to cherish, to stand beside you in darkness and light. This bond cannot be broken. This bond cannot be denied. This bond cannot be broken. This bond cannot be denied. We are one forever. We are one forever. Power surged between us. The blood in the bowl began to glow, rising like liquid light and dividing into two streams, one flowing into me, one into Dominic. Pain shot through my body, bright and overwhelming. I gasped, and Dominic grabbed my hand. Hold on, he said through clenched teeth. It'll pass. The pain intensified, then vanished suddenly, replaced by a rush of new sensation. I could feel Dominic. His determination, his relief, his fierce protectiveness, his growing affection. And he could feel me, my fear, my hope, my need for safety, my fragile trust. We were connected. Elena, he breathed, eyes wide. I can feel you. I can feel you too. He pulled me closer, resting his forehead against mine. You're not alone anymore. You'll never be alone again. For the first time in 3 years, I believed I might be safe. We stayed like that for several minutes, adjusting to the bond. Then alarms started blaring. Daniel burst through the door, looking grim. We have a problem. Marcus and Celine just arrived at the compound gates with 50 armed wolves. They're demanding Elena and the child. My blood ran cold. How did they find us? Someone talked. We have a mole. Daniel turned to Dominic. My king, you're not strong enough to fight yet. I'll fight anyway. No, I stood. They're here for me. I'll face them. Absolutely not, Dominic growled, trying to get out of bed. You can barely stand. Then we run. Daniel, get Elena and Maya out through the back exit. They've surrounded the compound, Daniel said. All exits are blocked. We're trapped. There has to be another way, I said. There is. A voice spoke from the doorway. Marcus stood there, smiling coldly. Behind him, 5 wolves held weapons aimed at us. Hello, Dominic. Surprised to see me? You should be. Your security is laughably easy to breach. Dominic's eyes flashed. Marcus, I heard you survived. Very inconvenient. Marcus's gaze slid to me. Elena Rivers. How poetic. Don't touch her, Dominic said sharply. Or what, fight me like this? Marcus laughed. Please. I could take her before you even stand. Dominic's fear for me pulsed through the bond. What do you want, Marcus? I asked. You're going to come with me, he said. You'll claim Dominic died at the auction house. You'll help me maintain that lie. And if I refuse? I kill everyone here, starting with your daughter. My breath stopped. You wouldn't. I would. Through the bond, Dominic's fear spiked. Don't do it. We'll find another way. But I couldn't gamble with Maya's life. Okay, I whispered. I'll go. Just let them go. Elena, no. Dominic tried to rise but couldn't. Marcus nodded to his wolves. Bring her. They grabbed me, pulling me toward the door. Dominic's anguish hit me through the bond. I'm sorry, I told him silently. I have to protect Maya. I'll find you, he sent back. I swear, I'll find you. They dragged me into the hall. I heard Maya crying somewhere distant. Mama, Mama! I kept walking, because sometimes doing the right thing meant sacrifice, and I loved them both enough to make it. They threw me into the back of a van. Through the tinted windows, I could see the compound shrinking behind us. Marcus climbed in beside me, his smile victorious. You made this so easy, Elena. Did you really think I'd keep my word about letting them live? Horror washed over me. You said, I lied. The moment we're clear, my wolves will burn that compound to the ground. Everyone inside dies, including your daughter. No. I lunged at him, but he struck me across the face. A sharp burst of pain shot through my jaw. Through the bond, Dominic felt it. His fury surged so strongly I almost gasped. You shouldn't have interfered, little Omega, Marcus said. You should have let Dominic stay dead. If that, now you'll watch everything you care about fall. And then you'll follow. But as the van pulled onto the road, something shifted inside me. The bond between Dominic and me suddenly roared to life, stronger, hotter, impossible to contain. His wolf responded to my danger, rising with burning determination. Through our connection, I felt him transform, felt his strength returning, fueled by the bond's magic. And then I heard it. His howl tore across the forest, furious, powerful, promising vengeance. Marcus heard it too. His smile wavered. Drive faster, he snapped at the driver. But despite everything, my fear, the pain, I couldn't stop the small smile that formed at the corner of my mouth, because I knew something Marcus didn't. You don't threaten an Alpha King's true mate and walk away untouched. Dominic was coming, and he wasn't coming alone. To be continued. If you're hooked and want to catch the next episode the moment it drops, make sure to subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel and helps keep this story going.